Start of stream. Welcome to the Blakery. I am playing Disco Elysium. I've played about 3 hours or something so far.
About that?
And yeah, so far one of my games of the decade. I am fucking loving it.
The man before you is naked, but for a
Apart from the naked men bit.
and white. His skin is marbled with decaying veins and blotched by lividity. On his chest, a fading web of tattoos. The cargo belt used to hang him from the tree looks reinforced.
Have we done the looking at the man yet?
We've looked at the man. The main thing is to get him down.
And gone through all of the
options we looked at. I believe every bit of.
The material appears to be
Yeah.
ceramic.
Okay.
It's clean white
Yeah, I remember that.
I forgot because it's been a while.
boots. There are the cadaver slowly twists on the
Because
collar.
they don't look
Also covered
like
in
marked as red.
As you narrow your eyes, the monster before you blurs into a violent mess.
But yeah, we need to find a way to get him down. Is the key thing at this point.
Yeah, I seem to remember that yeah.
This is a trick. You've done it before. Pink is where the blood settled in the first hours post-mortem. You can use it to see
Oh, hello.
has been tempered.
Crowns and ashes.
His position at the time.
Hey, it's been a while since
Yeah.
I've seen you on the stream.
Great to see you. So,
We are inspecting a corpse.
Extremities.
as per usual,
His fatigued hands, thighs, and his neck, just above the noose. The rest of the corpse appears dark.
I'm giving myself a bit of a corpse recap because it's been a couple of weeks. Because sometimes life is busy.
Two. The lividity goes right up his skin. Well pronounced.
Corpse is my jam.
I can't really say anything what with having a degree in bones.
Yeah.
But you know, I mostly look at stuff when the squishy bits have gone.
Appears pregnant with something. Black liquid streams down his thigh and onto his boot.
So, what do you think? Agreed, especially on the neck. The belt acted like a tourniquet, keeping the blood in his head. There's always a chance. We should check for ligament marks on his neck to see if they're in tune with the belt. We'll have to get him down. Ideally. Most of them are
Necromancer class is shot. Nice.
Oh, Kuno.
A pool of blood and feces has eaten into the fresh
Ah, blood and feces. Or bleaces.
liquid is dripping into it, drop by drop.
I'm not sure this is appropriate for a woo, but you know, you do you.
I mean, it's at least one of those one of those games where
Probably too small to understand.
yeah, it's in the writing. Like 90% is
Yeah.
in the writing.
The victim appears to have contained no more than half a kilogram of dead.
But it's a way to learn. Yeah, it's a way.
Yeah. But also, hi, a woo.
Hello. Oh,
Let us know how the game volume is, by the way, because the voice acting is pretty great in this. So if it needs turning up, do let us know.
yeah.
So that a woo can join in.
Yeah, there's so many fun words you can learn in this game.
Malicious laughter erupts in the yard. Sounds like
I've got to.
the lieutenant's face is made of stone. But there is no breath to catch.
I mean, who isn't these days?
Yeah.
The man before you is naked.
Okay.
But for a
So, the game sound is rather quiet. Okay.
We can enlouden it.
Yeah. I think that's... Yeah, that's desktop audio.
Yeah, it should be.
How's that? Is that better?
Well, there's no game sound right now.
Well, apparently there is.
Do an interact.
Yes? What do you want to know? Ah, yes.
How is the
case
sound now?
brief you missed. Now I remember.
Ambient ropes. Okay.
Okay, must have been turned up then.
3 days ago, the RCM emergencies desk received a report
Yes.
about a security guard who was found hanged in Martinez. An anonymous caller said there was a dead body behind the Whirling in Rags hostel. During
Okay.
that time, the victim had been stripped of. They didn't identify themselves in any
So
way.
basically,
The tone. There's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what's seen as union matters. Just to be clear, we are police officers. It's our job to find the killer. That's the case. Uncover and arrest the killer. Good.
okay. So got some tasks. We got a reality.
Get a reality
Load
load
down. Okay. Medium and messful. Okay. The number. Oops. Missing match. Getting the body down. Access. Right. Access the harbor and ask for. Is that
Everett.
Everard? Claire's help. Cool. That's we got that because we can get a clue. So yes, I think I have a couple of options for getting in the harbour, including that.
The jump.
Oh, I remember the possibility of the jump. I wasn't willing to risk the jump.
I will admit, when I played this, I did kind of save scum to get through the jump. But I also had a more physically apt detective than you have.
Ah, yes. I am not particularly physically apt.
And we also need money in order to have somewhere to sleep. It's the other big goal for now.
Good to
I'll go
know.
that way. Go up. See that? There's that ramp there, you can go up it. On the right.
So, bleak.
You gotta click on the coat in order to be able to do the jump.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking you didn't jump.
Okay, that's the only way you can get through in this direction. I'll
I'm,
just let you know that now to save some time.
yeah, I think I'll go another direction.
You have to click on the bit of roof that you came up through. You have to click on the bit of roof that you came up through. See this like a trapdoor bit?
Yeah. Rightio. I'm starting to wonder if maybe the body is just a part of the landscape now. It's gives the area its character.
It's sure a theory.
Yeah. Okay.
Would you like to be directed towards the harbour?
I have a vague memory of heading in the right.
Yeah, that's the racist guy.
Yeah. What is that? Beep. Agree. Good to know. Oh, a thought. Greater Revachol Industrial Harbour. Oh, I'm leaving. I'm gonna highlight some hotspots.
Bastards! We have a right to work!
Okay.
Strike, strike, strike.
Hold up and stay frosty, everyone. Cops are here.
Well, I guess if he's a scab leader,
Beat the honest
he's not
worker
striking.
down. We're here to fight for a cause. Stripes usually have problems with people who have causes. Good. We're fighting for a cause here.
I'm just gonna bullshit him.
Right to work! Right to work! Besides, we're not that different. It helps if people see us talking, cops and strikebreakers together. Shows authorities are on our side. Builds might be time. Don't let the fat bastards tread on you. Cops tend to side with the higher-ups.
I like this
Essentially
incredibly
still
twisted
workers.
logic here.
I don't trust cops, but I can see you understand the right to work! Right to work! Rights of people, rights of workers, to have gainful employment, to make a salary, and feed their families.
His manner of speaking is wooden, the tone of voice bland and uninspired.
We got some
Maybe you should
questions.
ask them the questions, like why we're not allowed to make a living here. Shame on you! We have families to feed, you piece of shit.
So do we, Scab.
Oh,
Have
this
fun.
guy.
Union shits are on full strike. Don't think they're going to let you through the gates. You trying to meet their fat boss. Right to work! It's shameful. Cops doing nothing. You should bring backup. Open up the gates for us.
I'm gonna
Boss
say
hating
no.
gainful and
We are not picking a side in this just yet, sir.
pity. Let us work!
What is a strike?
When a bunch of ungrateful, lazy cockroaches can't get their act together.
You know, I think this guy might be anti-strike.
Just work for other people.
You think?
Beats me. They mumble nonsense about boardrooms and workers' rights, while we have the right to work!
There's something odd in the way he carries himself. His set of clothing looks vaguely mismatched. The different pieces of the attire seen. His shirt is far too small and an unpleasantly tight fit, while the overalls held up by a belt. See, he ignores your question, choosing instead to turn to the emaciated workers. Silence is the answer. There's something off here, but he
Cool. Alright.
Ooh, some coins on the floor.
Oh,
No, we need money. Do not wish to be held up.
Yeah. What did that say?
What do what, sir?
The thing that just popped up then.
3 T's, how idiomatic.
No, after that,
Oh,
when I
okay.
picked up the coins.
I didn't see.
Ah.
Probably just told you how much
Hazy
coin you
impression
have.
of a scab smells like politics, though. Maybe it's got something to do with the flask he reaches for from time to time.
A kind of a worm, content with mere survival. They come, they want to do our job for shittier pay, screwing over both themselves and us. Everybody loses. Gotta be bloody stupid or freaking evil to scab. Or I guess scared, maybe. But scared of what? Of who? Personally, I'd rather beg than scab. If the gentleman shouting on the street came begging, maybe they'd have gotten something. We've explained the matters, but they don't listen. This lot would be reasonable and go home if the big guy wasn't riling them up all the time.
Let's see what I can do.
Guy. He means the leader of the scabs.
I was just messing with you. No one's ever seen a cop scab. Imagine, you cops going on a strike, but then another cop comes in and says, let us cop for less money.
That sounds amazing.
It would be interesting.
What brings the RCM here? To the wild north? Come to see the strife?
Dead body situation.
Body still hanging in the tree? Hey, that's a rough pickle. Can't help you with that, sorry. I'm not really an admirer of dead bodies. Might be someone else from the Union can render assistance. I don't operate in that capacity. I'm not a granter of passage.
The passage
Passage
grants
grants itself.
Sure.
It's all so simple. Why don't the strikebreakers just go up the stairs?
Aye. Walk right past Measurehead and go in. Yeah, the 2.5 meter tall Semini Supremus is there. Walk right past him, then press the button to unlock the door, then go past him again, and you enter the arbor through the office. Está. Don't worry, I'm sure it's not completely impossible. For example, you could best measure head in a physical confrontation, or you could convert to a Semini Supremacist worldview. Or,
What, Seminese?
maybe it actually is
One of the
completely impossible.
ethnicities.
Okay.
Not yet, no.
He's saying he's racist.
He's
Yeah,
incredibly
just,
strong. Jean-Luc himself would say the philosophy has proven overly heroic for the scabs to convert to. Sure,
Okay.
There are ways through that don't involve Measurehead.
Yeah, I'm gonna, poke around.
Nobody betrays your degeneracy.
Yeah, Measurehead. His body totally betrays his degeneracy.
Don't say anything. Size him up first.
Are you admiring my morphophysiology?
I think I should get him to flex so hard he has a heart attack.
It
Could
must
be well
be
if that was an
frightening
option.
to stand in the shadow of this racial pinnacle. Be calm, Sandwich. You are not in danger because you are not a threat to me. That is precisely the negligence that has led you to succumb to Al Ghul. You reek of it. An invisible sword of Al Ghul emerges from your throat. You cannot see it, but others can. It is making the woman in my company sick.
It's not good.
It's like
Have you him?
to your stomach, got drunk and drowned.
No, you don't. You need to get another drink. Occidental Haplogroup B4 is done giving orders around here. The influence of the ham sandwich rays.
What about it? The expression, though.
What if I like ham sandwiches?
Show him the hand still got
That would
him.
make no sense if you did not catch the previous stream, but trust me.
It was a pretty good
hilarious.
version of the expression.
Does this
Yeah.
remind you of someone? The guy down there?
I'm gonna see what happens if I say
Look
this.
at my craniology. I am the pinnacle of my haplogroup. The pink blob is a bad example, even of yours. It saddens me. You were once a noble and powerful race. You gave the world eugenics, electricity, and powerful
He's got a really
weapons of war
interesting
like
way of seeing the
missiles and
world.
Yeah.
It's bad, but it's interesting.
It's a worldview. It certainly is Weltanschauung.
I want to study him.
You dominated lesser cultures, like the deformed Himians and the inexplicably potato-obsessed Quakers. But now
Obsessed with
your
sadness and with
ascent of the
frivolous pop
genetic
culture.
summit has halted.
Oh no. Yeah, new type of guy, hey Nutella!
And
Hey,
with
Nutella!
frivolous pop
Oh! Always good to have you around.
You will be superseded. Isn't that right, babe?
It is, baby, yeah. You know it.
Eugenics, baby, yeah!
There's a button right behind him, just out of reach. It must be the one that opens the door to the heart.
I really hope that
Dare I
gets...
say behave?
Really hope that doesn't get taken out of context.
Worst possible thing to be clipped.
Let's hope his
Let's not give him
feelings
ideas.
aside are
Yeah.
more cooperative.
Enough with this begging. You should leave the stage of history.
I wanna start a
with
race war, my
dignity
guy.
by inviting the other races to a great world war. Bring your troops to the Simonite Islands, and to boot the walls will be lined with bottles of Al Ghul, your beloved beverage.
There may be a peaceful solution to this. You could internalize Mejhet's race. Well, not as such. What you do with a mastery of
Yeah, let's maybe not
theory
do that.
to you. You could reject the findings, sure, or accept them and become an advanced racist.
I'm gonna see what the,
Let's not, though.
Yeah, I'm just reading.
Yeah.
Subscribe to the
I'm not sure
Theory.
8% is worth it.
Yeah, 8%. That's quite high because I'm good at concepts.
But also,
I'm gonna shove
I
him.
would rather not.
I'm gonna shove him in the mug.
He does not so much as glance
Forgot about the
at
mug.
the object.
Stop showing me your pathetic cup.
He had nothing to do with it.
We need to go find another
Racists are
route.
generally not very good examples of their race. I am not like them. I am craniometric.
He's not like other
perfection. I
racists.
have taken the trouble to permanently draw a phrenologic grid on my skull and features. This should dispel any doubt. Your silence betrays your inferiority. You don't.
We still need to get into the harbor. We need help with the tree situation. There must be another way.
Kim wants us to jump.
In this particular situation, should I save it before jumping?
Like I said, when I played it, I save scummed it, and my detective was a lot more physical than yours. I just made him average across the board.
Well, my guy has a big heart.
Which is prone to attacks.
Yeah, yes, he's got an alcohol problem. I was gonna say it doesn't define him, but it
Yeah,
very
it
much
does.
defines him. It's like an outline made of ethanol.
In aura.
Mm. Alright. So, how's everyone been? I am enjoying a big fat weekend where, appropriate enough for playing this game, Friday was some industrial action, so I was chillaxing.
If you click your coat, it should take you right the way around.
Cool. Quick save.
Yeah, and then Monday is a bank holiday, which is a thing that Union's got us. Crown and Ashes is doing well.
Nice.
Yay!
So yeah,
I hope Awu is also doing well.
yeah.
He's still enjoying the stream.
A tarpaulin cloak is still caught on the railing. No one has claimed it for their own.
The cloak? I do think it's yours, yes. As to what... Well, it doesn't seem...
I don't suppose
too
we've got
difficult.
any level ups that we can use to increase our savoir-faire a little bit.
Let's have a look. It's one of these. Okay.
Oh, we do have a level up. It's the time to use it, I think. It's a motorics. In the middle. Let's boost this.
Cool.
You should also see if we've got any items that will help the... because clothing changes your stats. Disco Elysium is a dress-up game. Is anything we're wearing reducing it? It's worth checking.
This one.
Take the shoes off. We've got to do this jump barefoot.
Yeah. Oh.
And pantsless. It's the only way. We can put them back on afterwards.
But yes to gloves.
Yes. It's just that kind of look.
Is still caught on the railing. No one has claimed it for
28%. I am
That
gonna.
28% is a lot better than 3%. I don't think you can quick save while in a dialogue.
Yeah.
Let's
So,
do this.
take some clothes off, quick saved it.
A tarpaulin cloak
Here we
is still
go.
caught on the railing. No one has claimed it for their own.
Oh, that's not good.
Nope, no. That's still too high. What were you thinking? You're not a gymnast. You're a boxer. And you've climbed way too high up there.
Sure. Just be careful, okay? Looks like you almost strained a muscle there.
Exit dialogue, reload. We gotta do this. Because it's this or getting past Measurehead.
Load. Okay.
Please do not judge our methods.
A tarpaulin cloak is still caught on the railing. No one has claimed it for their own.
But theoretically, if it's 28%, we should do it within 4 attempts.
Yeah.
It's probability and stuff.
A tarpaulin cloak is still caught on the railing. No one has claimed it for their own.
Something I've thought about sometimes the way Cyberpunk 2077's normal ass street clothes of RPG Arbitrat is dumb and lame.
That's
The D's
still
version
too
of it
high.
is really funny.
What were you thinking? You're
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, Disco Elysium has things that give you bonus stats, such as floral kimono, which absolutely will never fit you in a million years.
A tarpaulin cloak is still caught on the railing. No one has claimed
I
it.
enjoy seeing this guy completely fail to jump.
Just so many
No,
times.
no,
I think we've all
that's
been
still
there.
Too high. What were you
Just
thinking?
like,
You're not a gym.
I don't know, trying to jump off a high step at home.
It
Yeah.
is flavorful.
The text has umami.
Ooh,
A
that's a good
tarpaulin
flavour.
cloak is still caught on the railing.
This is
No
brown.
one has claimed it for their own.
How many attempts are we making before attempting to find a secret third method of getting through?
Secret. Is there a way to just increase, like...
A tarpaulin
Like
cloak
we can
is still caught
go
on
do
the
something
railing.
else until
No
we
one
get
has
enough
claimed it for their own.
experience to level up again. Just wander around talking to people.
Yeah. Maybe one more time. Or twice, I don't know.
A tarpaulin cloak is still caught on the railing.
Because there
No one has
is
claimed it for
supposedly
their
another
own.
way as well, but I don't know if it was a glitch or something. It just wouldn't let me try it when I was playing.
Nope. No.
Sure. Just be careful, okay? Looks like you almost... I was under the assumption we could ask the leader of this union to help us get this body down. This is why we're here, right? Or it could be that we are just exploring.
He's thinking you've forgotten where you are again. The wind is aggressive up here. The lieutenant looks at the enormous crane. The look in his eyes is a mix of the engineer-like interest and the wonder of a 6-year-old seeing a horse for the first time. His eyes trace the crane's contour as...
Yes. We were in the middle of something. Your clock.
Yeah, just having a careful think.
A tarpaulin cloak is still caught on the railing.
They got a healing item. So what are you thinking for third way?
What I'm thinking is, I think I misremembered that being the third one.
Okay.
But if we go a wandering, we can get some more experience points and level up.
Yeah.
Although supposedly back in the Whirling and Rags in the evening, you can steal a guy's ID and use it to get through a door.
Very nice.
Which yeah, I did try, but it didn't let me do it when I tried it. But it's worth a go.
Hello again, officer. Of course. Where to? There's the pier, the Cape Side apartment buildings, the harbor gates, some kind of commode, some shops and a bridge. Just coast. It's just water. No, what do you mean? Yes, sir. District.
He knows where we are. He just wants directions.
No problem.
I'm gonna do a little thing, which I think is run the serial number of the boots.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft... As you tap on the gauge, the indicator pin jerks as if startled.
No. That's enough fun with the foldable headlights. I know they are mesmerizing. They are also fragile. I'm not going to turn it on for you.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Sure, officer. What's the number? And the make of the armor, if you know. Got it. I'll contact the ICP database immediately. Call back tomorrow. Hopefully they'll have dug up
Run the
some...
The
boots.
International Collaboration Police, ICP, is an inter-Isolari law enforcement service. The crown jewel in the moral intern diadem.
Of course. What is the number, officer?
Yes, hold on. Her
Lovely.
number is 005.
Received. Hold on, officer.
There's only one option here.
Is it Stim?
Give it a minute. She might be busy at the moment.
Just wait. Relax.
Officer, I have Sylvie Malaika on the line for... Yes, hello? Oh, right. Hello, officer. What can I do for you?
You can hear resentment in her tone. She's not thrilled to be talking to you again.
You mean, why did I leave the bar? Honestly, I'm not really...
Why not?
Let's just say I left because I needed to get away. You know whom?
You think you hear a sliver of accusation in her. Don't be paranoid. She's obviously talking about someone else, not you.
Amazing.
I really don't want to talk about this. Let's just... Maybe, I don't know. I just know... No? Not me. No, sorry. I don't. People don't have the money to have the cables put in again. They use the Union's phone, or the one on the coast.
So the Union has a phone, and there's one further down the coast.
It was someone else. We'll find them sooner or later, officer. It just might take a while.
What? Of course it bothered me. But I thought the Union already knew about the corpse. No one calls the police. The Union would get angry. You know, what the Union says goes. People listen to them and they take care of their own, which is like everyone here.
Garbage.
Legally, no. In reality, yes. Martinez is de facto policed by the Dock Workers Union.
Words are not necessary to feel the lieutenant's discontent for the situation.
I didn't want to get in trouble with the others.
Push her further. Show her the error of her ways. No, don't push her. It sounds as if she's about to cry.
I want 2 or 3. No, I don't need specifics. It's a broad cultural thing.
Yeah.
You do? Oh. What else can I do for you? Yeah, go on.
Oh.
No? Not me. Yeah, go on. No, I don't know. It wasn't me. I haven't been out there since. Yes, I know who you are.
This exact conversation has happened before. Establishing authority before this young girl seems to have...
Oh.
Real policemen have uniforms too, by the way. Where's yours? He's in plain clothes, voluntarily. There are officers who wear the signature Perseus black uniforms to the highest ranks in the RCM and end up buried in them as well. Others do it more casually. Looks like you're one of them.
Please, no. Not this again. Everyone saw your cool gun detective. You were trying to impress some people with it.
Oh, God.
Everyone was eating, and you were waving it around in everyone's face, begging them to describe it.
Hey, at least he got some XP.
Oh, Jesus Christ, my guy has problems.
Yeah.
Oh, those again. I have been trying to wean you off them. You know, when you put your gun, your actual gun, on your temple and pretend to shoot your brains out.
Okay.
Off of that, people don't like that.
I'm not okay.
I remember
Medically
this.
not
You were
okay.
screaming things like, "My brains are all over the wall, painting them red. I won't be seeing it, cause these are my brains. I can't see without my brains." Very nice visuals there. Some poor sod was trying to eat his pudding while you were screaming, spit flying, imitating the mercy shot
Thing
right
is,
next to him. Spat some in his
I
food.
kind of
Fix it after.
Don't drop things.
do what I want. Yeah. I could imagine, like, getting really drunk, dancing inappropriately, singing, and being a bit of a lech. But this is a lot.
Yep.
No idea. All I know is next you were waving around money instead, saying things like big butts cannot lie and guns can't buy money, but money can always buy guns. It almost looked like you pawned it. But believe me, I did not ask.
Oh my goodness.
Uniform?
Bad cop.
I never saw you in any uniform. You had your things on. The disco things. Well,
I love my disco things.
you tried to jam it down the toilet, sir, clogging it completely. After I had unclogged the toilet and retrieved the paperwork, I threw it out in the trash, thinking you didn't need it. I am sorry about that. Anything else, Detective? I do hope so. Please, don't call me again. Bye.
Yes, you have obviously done something to upset her at the whirling in rags.
I'm not mad, it's just... You were so drunk and so emotional all the time, and then the skua thing happened. It just made me want to quit. The stuffed bird, the great skua. You threw it against the wall while screaming, "Fuck that bird," and laughing like a maniac.
I think all cops is bad cops, or Akibg.
I think you said it had been giving you shit ever since you got there. Didn't seem like you had fun doing it, though. Yes, obviously. You were the worst client. I've had sailors fighting, union guys grabbing my ass, kids stealing booze. Once a guy was glued to the karaoke machine every night for, well, you were worse than all of them. Honestly, you were getting... Even about little things like not turning down the volume at 3 a.m. I even liked one of those songs you kept listening to on repeat. We Go On, by the O.O.
There we go. Getting all the
I
experience.
can't listen to it anymore. You've turned it into a parody. To hell with that song. Then there was your room. Your project. An experiment to see how bad it can get in there. I tried to send the cleaner, but you wouldn't let me. Threatened to make me understand. I have no idea what you meant.
Man.
And I don't want to know.
Buddies.
And then you screamed something about how you're actually a real cool guy. And no one understands it. One of the coolest guys there is. The coolest guy in Jamrock. Something about disco, too. And then I had to deal with your toilet. The one you clogged with police documents, causing water damage downstairs in the kitchen. I won't even mention you waving your gun around, harassing customers, threatening to sing karaoke, threatening to kill yourself. No, you really weren't. You were simply the worst. God, I knew I shouldn't have brought it up. Just try not to call me again, and let's pretend it never happened.
Let's not keep asking her.
You hear a sigh of relief.
Anything else I can help you with, officer?
Done.
57.
In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers.
Oh, pepper thought.
Hey, so we've been monitoring you internally, and now we know your copo type. Yes, guess what's yours? Yes, sorry cop. The cop who's sorriest. Let's make it official then, shall we? Huge lack of enthusiasm going on in here. Oh, you know, Apocalypse, Superstellar, the advanced interesting cop, liquid shadow cop. But you're too sorry to say those things. So, here we go? What? Jealous of the sorry cop? I think they'll be fun. They'll be super fine. It'll be totally okay. You can dual copo type from sorry to anything. Of course you are. It's okay. See if you can get something out of this, like info. Or maybe every time you say you're sorry, you get $1 million. That won't happen.
Good-o. Alright.
Let's go try and steal from the guy in the whirling in rags.
Ooh.
Because that is the only other way to get to the harbour.
Ah, main entrance.
There he is. Drunk guy. Passed out.
Oh yeah,
That guy's not passed out.
okay. Sleeping dock worker.
On the counter, rolled out of his open hand, you see a blister pack of headache medicine.
Oh, medicine.
Woo!
The
Drugs.
man does not mind. You probably need them more.
You've just picked up some magnesium. This item is stored in the bottom left corner of the screen.
Okay. What's that there?
That sugary black rum stain on the counter makes you teary-eyed with joy. It's almost touching how syrupy and sticky it is. How long have you been up already? Oh, excuse me. Do you have something better to do than lust for sweet syrupy rum and lemonade?
Go back to the sleeping dog quick.
The worker is in a deep slumber. Perhaps he's on his way to where you just came from, into the primordial darkness.
Okay, do I...
You gently shake his shoulder.
Okay, so we
Nothing
can't
happened.
get this guy's ID.
The worker is in a deep slumber.
Okay.
We now have a problem.
Where one of our only options is physical confrontation or being racist.
Or wandering around talking to people until we get enough XP to increase savoir-faire again. Which I feel is a better option. Plus you'll get an idea of what the map looks like. Which I feel is probably a good thing.
Probably a good thing. I feel slightly less bad at the prospect of sea monster.
The worn and beaten wooden planks of the bench.
We can sit on benches after.
You can revisit the bench if you ever need to pass the time when Lieutenant Kitsuragi is gone.
Must be waiting for him to come back.
There's some dudes.
Some dudes? Okay.
There's some dudes.
This Post Lavatorie mail collection box has been heavily vandalized with graffito. A closer inspection.
The Morton's
The
full
box
of
seems
racism.
happy.
I'm glad the box seems happy.
Eat shit pig, fucked by the coon, and Saint G with a crown have been scribbled on it. Jenny is a whore, and best set mailbox also. The mail collection box seems cathartic, thankful even. So
I feel like I've definitely had
you
this kind of
shut
conversation with
then you
inanimate
swallow.
objects.
Who hasn't?
You can bet the box in Disco Elysium. Romance options.
The only one I watch romance is Kim.
There's a person.
Hello, sir. Step
Hello.
right in. The store is open.
Hello.
Are you interested in a new and exciting book? It's a bookstore, sir. We sell books, postcards, and some board games. It's called
Ooh.
Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold your horses, little girl. You're fooling nobody.
Sir, are you okay? You've been standing here silently for a while now. Okay, sir. I'll try to
I know
answer
about
any
things.
questions you have. I hope they're about books.
What is crime?
Oh, kings and queens and generals of old, or artists and writers, or musicians, those kinds of people. There's usually something extraordinary about them. I think that's why people read them, to find the secrets of their fame.
Seems like most people who read those books fail to get more famous from reading them.
Unless I do want to plumb the depths.
Every snowflake is like a little gift. My name is Annette, sir. My mum, her name is Plaisance. She owns the store. She's inside minding the register or organising the stock. Feel free to step in and browse our wares. I'm signalling that the store is open. Otherwise, people might not know. They'd miss out on the crime, romance, and biographies of famous people.
A sudden gush of wind turns the pages of the books on the counters. She covers her face, smiling. But she's cold.
Kind of you to offer, sir.
What could you do to help her anyway?
Oh, no, sir. I'm happy to help Mum by luring in customers. But I do my studies at home at the moment. I have to help Mum keep this place running.
What is school?
Mum says it's necessary to do both because it builds character. Mum says a proper worker is dutiful. That Mum says it's peachy. She was a little afraid at first. There's talk about this house being cursed.
Behind her, the window has been boarded up. You sense the boards creaking.
Cursed in the way that makes them say that no business has ever really thrived here, sir. That they all go... I wouldn't really say it like that, but I guess so.
We can go into the bookstore and ask about the case, but I don't see much more to look into here.
Yes. Please do also look at our wares inside. The postcards and...
It does not manifest itself in any way. It does not exist. I liked it better when we were asking about fame. No such thing.
Anything else you want to talk about, sir?
there is.
Maybe I can tell you about some of our books instead. It's the type of book where there's a rich lady and she has to choose between the good man and the bad man. Or there could be a story about a poor lady getting a rich man. It's about man and lady business, sir. It happens, but usually the guy gets rich in the process. Or should actually be rich himself, but has lost his family property unjustly, like during the revolution or something. Those are unhappy books, for most of the pages. People sad about what they have lost, but then it all turns out just fine in the end. These are not very common. You can't have a choice between bad and bad. Nobody wants to read a story like that. Well, maybe then it's fine. Maybe if the lady then decides not to pick either, because she doesn't need a bad man. Yes, that would be interesting. That's really not a proper romance story. That's more like everyday life.
Poor people are
Not
boring.
in romance books, sir. These are about nice and pretty people.
Some
and
of
everyone
the
is happy in
more
the end.
crass, I think, dialogue responses I kind of hear in a Rick Mail voice.
Yeah.
I haven't read many of those. Maybe you should ask Mum. I'm sure she can help out. Anything else? Maybe some about other books?
I think this child cannot help us further, you know.
I don't know, I want to learn about crime.
Crime fiction is about murders or burglaries or things like that. And the work of a policeman or a private detective.
You're really getting the Disco
You don't
Elysium
look much
experience
like a
watching this
policeman.
stream, just going through all the dialogue options.
Yeah.
Didn't mean to offend, sir. Sorry, sir. It's just that you don't look like Dick Mullen. More about books, maybe?
Alright, I'm gonna go. See if I can get something evidential.
Talk. Bookshop owner.
A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types of games for all ages.
Yeah, you do make a good point.
Welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People. My
I'm
name is
trying to
Plaisance.
view this through the lens of what would I do if I was at work and also had been hit on the head a bunch, and the answer is go home and maybe talk to my union about getting some accident at work compensation.
Yeah, I don't think you have that option in this game.
Yeah.
Welcome, and please take responsibility for the energy you bring into this
Jesus,
space.
number one.
I am the proudest owner of our little shop of culture. Cursed? Who said that? Annette? I will have a word with her. This place is not cursed. It has a robustly...
What in God's name is she talking about?
Annette, yes, my daughter. I hope she wasn't slacking off again with her nose in science fiction. Tell me.
Yep, doing her job.
Wonderful. Did you talk great? On a scale of 1 to 10?
Her opinion of her daughter depends on how well she lured you into the store.
My precious. Her dedication brings joy to my heart.
Yeah, like,
If you have children,
absolutely adorable.
I hope they turn out as great
And
as
like
my Annette.
able to deal with customers well even when they're fucking weird.
I love option 3.
You're a maladapted napkin of a failed cop. There
As a
you.
young girl should be. With a proper attitude, she'll have a bright financial future.
I don't think that Nick is a maladaptive napkin, but I may be biased.
I'm a
Every
well-used
now and then,
napkin.
She nudges her glasses.
I don't know if that's better or worse.
It's something.
It's sure something.
Goodness, you were already doing good, browsing the shelves. Why'd you stop? Don't you feel compelled? Go, go. Get back there. The books await you.
She smiles and nods, seeming
Goodness, everything is on the shelves. Take...
she's attempting to mentally direct you towards the shelves. She only wants you to buy the goods. She doesn't care about the books.
Truth be told, not really. My sister brings in most of the goods. I'm sure it's all very literary stuff.
Oh, well,
with
just a sheet
well-written
of sturdy and
prose.
pleasant paper. Okay. Good to know.
But you don't learn about the important things in life from fabricated stories. I provide a valuable service.
What is the most
As long as
pleasant
people
kind
buy
of paper?
books, I'm fine. The truth is available if you just know where
Truth
to
be
look.
told,
and you have
I
to
do
open
like
and
that,
free your mind to understand.
I do enjoy the feel of just the paper we have at work for official letters. There's something kind of, there's a little grain to it.
Oh.
And it's like, it's ever so slightly off. Just has a nice kind of rustic quality to it.
Mm-hmm.
But it just feels different to other paper, which makes you feel like, oh, that's nice. That's government paper.
Swanky public sector paper.
Yeah. Just
She
like,
smiles
oh
and
yeah,
nods,
you'd best
seeming
believe that
relieved.
you need to respond within 7 working days or you're in trouble. Just have a feel of that. It's got gravitas in the grain. Why the hell did they hire me?
Maybe you have gravitas in the green.
Oh, maybe I do.
You see a set of tattered curtains blocking the way to another room. A strange cage-like trinket dangles from the curtains.
Excuse me, officer.
The teller says prestigious grain levels.
Oh yes. That's you know, it's prestigious grain levels when games have a grain option for you to add film grain to it.
Is that prestigious or is that prestige?
I think it's prestige.
Nothing. Now to browsing the books. Don't you feel compelled to look at the books?
She speaks almost as if she's trying to put a spell. Oddly enough, the more she tries to draw you away from the curtains, you see some kind of charm, an irregular polyhedron assembled from bones, sticks, and straw. Inside, a disturbing fish head. This is a traditional Seminese ward, meant to provide protection against ill luck, bad dreams. Inhabitants of Ile de Fantôme, the Seminine Islands down south.
Well,
Okay,
Aside from poking at it suspiciously,
let's open
there
the
is nothing
curtains.
else to do with just as you're about to pull apart the curtains, the
Sir, don't touch that. I told you it's off limits for the customers. Parapsychologically
If we
speaking,
haven't bought
we're dumb
anything,
if
are we a
decide to
customer?
open them. I won't be held responsible for the consequences. It's too dangerous.
She looks away, mumbling. Why is everyone always messing with the curtains? Why can't they just buy books like normal people?
what should I do?
I want to open the curtains.
Yeah. But how am I opening the curtains?
Chat, how are we opening the curtains?
Just give me a number.
I think we're being left to make our own curtain decision.
Oh, making our own curtain call.
Bad.
No, it's just a storeroom for the employees, I told you. Now please, step away. Why? It's not like anyone was killed there. I am sorry, I don't
But tell
mean
us
to be
this is
impolite.
between you and
Please
the
don't go there.
curtains.
I can't allow that. You'll only make things worse and unleash the powers.
The curtains do seem frail suddenly, not
I reckon
robust
3.
enough to contain it.
You do? My God, even more reasons not to mess with
Oh,
the
we just have to go with
Step
4, I
away,
guess.
dear sir. No! Please just talk to me, officer. Come here and let's...
Talking is always good. Go see. There is something mysterious about the curtains. Be careful. The curtains, tattered with age and covered in dust, hang before you, as if taunting you.
Nothing. Now please go back to browsing the books. Don't you feel compelled to look at the books?
She speaks almost as if she's trying. Oddly enough, the more she tries to draw you away from the
Curtains,
curtains, the more
curtains,
alluring.
curtains.
You see a dimly lit room full of dusty furniture and trash. A doorway stands in the back, covered in dozens of scary little Seminese wards, your shadow looming over it like an omen.
I warned you. You're unleashing forces beyond your understanding.
Love to do that.
Let's investigate.
Love to bust in places without a warrant.
A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of Seminese trinkets and charms. It appears to be locked. Only an echo. No one is there.
I'm concerned. Yeah, you only had 1 health left.
Heal yourself now.
You gotta click the orange cross.
Ow. Shoot. Whose moronic idea was it to just run through the door?
Yeah.
Don't you know that things like that hurt?
Are you alright? This looked pretty intense and painful, I must admit.
It was certainly a near fatal door incident.
I knocked myself about just the outside. It was a fatal frame.
What is going on
Bad.
there? Are you really trying to break down the back door? I warn you, don't tempt the spirits, officer. Don't tempt the spirits, or you'll damage the holy wards on the door.
It barely looks like you've done any damage to the door, however. It's...
Okay. I am gonna have a little poodle around.
A poodle?
A poodle. Sports.
Just poking around the shop while having really negative money given your debt.
On the shelf reads, biographies of famous people. You see a large...
I would say... The Greatest Innocence. Yes, most certainly. It's an important educational tool, delving into the depths of history.
Shelves full of biographies of famous people, whoever they are.
Money check.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Hate to fail money checks.
When the money checks bounce.
You're on one tonight, aren't you?
Yeah. Sometimes it's nice being me. Not as nice for everyone else, but it's not important. All right. So with these core stats here, can you improve those?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay.
You see two lowly, defeated speakers. Thralls. Slaves, basically.
I can see you with taste for luxury, officer. Can't keep your eyes off those sneakers?
These once respectable speakers have been conquered.
No, don't look at the speakers, officer. Look at the... Good move, officer. You won't find a deal like this anywhere.
Speakers.
Yes? Me? I don't see how my life is pertinent to the investigation. That's a fair point. All right, for the good of the investigation, what do you want to know? That's correct.
You feel a slight urge to put the lieutenant down for this, but you can't quite muster enough testosterone.
I guess you don't need glasses, then. That's because I'm half Seolite, or quarter. My father's father was from... It's a part of the world, officer. A geopolitical entity, and a
Seo is a protectionist, isolationist, pan-Isolari state west of the Insulindian Isola. Actually, it's quite interesting. Some would even say mysterious.
You're barking up the wrong tree. I don't speak a word of Seolite. I've never...
A point of pride to him.
No.
The lieutenant nods.
That's correct.
You feel a slight...
Are they?
You could use a good, normal peer yourself.
What do you mean? I have no idea what...
The lieutenant's conceptualization skills must be rather rudimentary. The lieutenant is a police officer of the old school. His concerns are material and extrinsic, but this isn't an old school case.
So what? That makes you the new school? God spare us. For real detective work, nothing beats a good notebook by your side.
It's not wrong.
The lieutenant produces his small blue notebook and idly thump. That's where his conversations with himself take place. We all have our different mediums. His is written.
I like conceptualization.
Let's change the subject. Excuse me? You have a distinctive way of walking. If I were to walk in front, I hope you don't take this the wrong way. It's just a collegial observation. In the 57th, they say it's a scene-clearing technique developed by one of your lieutenants for gathering evidence. It's erratic yet thorough. Prioritizes containers. I don't know. Containers contain.
So
Passing along
meta.
frivolous interdepartmental stereotypes is not
They
usually
are the
his
way adventure
oeuvre.
game protagonists move around.
What do you want to know? You mean like a brief? Do you want me to brief you again? There's no reason to wing anything. 3 days ago, the RC. During that time, the victim, a security guard or worker of some, they didn't identify themselves. There's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what's seen as union matters. Just to be clear, we are police officers. It's our job to find the killer. That's the good. What about me? Good. Let's change the subject.
There was something.
Excuse me? You
What are you
have
looking for?
a distinct... I hope you don't take... They say it's a scene-clearing technique. I don't know.
Passing along frivolous
There was
interdepartmental
something.
stereotypes is not
Oh,
usually.
okay. It must have just been a one-off thing. I was going to ask more, talk more about the pissing contest thing, but it seems to have gone.
Was it not under asking about the case?
Possibly.
Yes? What do you want to know? What's there to say? It's just stupidity. The cop kind. Our precincts can't decide if Martinez is part of Jamrock or the Industrial Harbor. Yours or mine, as if we somehow own parts of the city. Typical
I mean, it
street
feels
gang
Industrial
mentality.
Harbour, given that that
So we've let
runs
the union
everything.
make a mockery of law enforcement here. And now, well, sort of. It's less a matter of who gets to police Martinez than who has to. It's an orphan district, in other words. I think the dispatch desk just told both our stations about the hanging. There was quite the brouhaha at the 57th, I can tell you that. Time to settle it, they said. Cop off. But I assure you,
We've got a cop
I
off
am
with
not their
Ken.
finest or
Yep.
toughest with 100.
So he volunteered to represent the 57th, but not out of competitiveness. On the contrary.
Martinez? Nothing. It's just a puddle at the end of some drain pipe. No one cares about this place. They care about sports. Most of our colleagues don't even know how to get here.
The silence carries.
Yes, it's a wholly pointless matter. Forget I ever mentioned it.
Ooh, gloves.
I'm going to have a little peekaroonie.
Electrochemistry.
Oh, +1.
He's popping them back on for now.
Yeah. I'm in a new place.
Which means it's time for the Jamrock Shuffle.
Ah.
A typical Martinez streetlight sits among assorted floor and table lamps. The light pole has been carefully cut, and the wiring has been redone and attached to a standard indoor. This would make quite a statement in your living room.
Yes, officer. As you see, it's in perfect working order. It was brought to me to be altered.
We are not here to investigate the theft of city property. You have to admit it's rather clever what he's done
Oh,
with
the
it.
pawnbroker. That's... Yeah, need to talk to this guy.
About our gun.
Yep.
It's not often that I see officers from the RCM in my pawn shop. What can I do for you?
His courtesy is not insincere, but he prefers being alone with his projector, just watching the movement of light across the walls of the shop.
I haven't had any problems myself, though some of my customers have complained about inconsistent law enforcement.
Who are your customers usually?
All kinds of people come through here. Locals, travelers, people looking for a deal, people looking for a keepsake, people who are terminally bored. As you can see, I have a wide selection of goods for everyone to choose from. It keeps me entertained.
Entertained? He might be high. If he is, on what? Okay, he definitely is high. Whatever it is, you've probably done it. And many, looking at his wares, talking to a guarded man like him, wouldn't tell you if you asked out loud.
Someone else came here earlier today asking the same question.
Whoops.
I promptly sold her the gun you pawned a couple days back.
This is a pawn shop, and it did feel as if you've met before. Oh God. The lieutenant shifts from one foot to another, alert.
She didn't seem like a policeman, although she kept referring to herself as a pig, which was odd. I found her interest in the gun a bit obsessive, but I was just happy to get rid of it, and of her. Truth be told, she was terrifying.
Right, so let me get this right. You sold your sidearm, issued by the citizens' militia, and now a civilian is running around the streets of Martinez with it?
Miraculously, his face does not reveal what's happening inside.
You're right that she could cast aspersions on the force. We have to find her.
My apologies, officer, but I have no idea where she was coming from or where she went.
A needle in a haystack. There is nothing you can do about it now. You'll just have to hope you luck upon her somehow.
Of course.
Maybe I can sell the racist cup.
That's a good idea.
Let me have a look. Anything else you're thinking of selling?
Let's,
I don't think we have the option.
I just sold a pen.
We can't sell Kim's handkerchief, not in front of him.
Another time, perhaps. I doubt it, but I can try and answer any questions you... The corpse behind the hostel, I assume. I don't have a truck with a mounted platform, or anything of that sort myself. Ask around the harbour. I do my best to keep my distance from all manner of butchery.
He doesn't know anything. The pawnbroker's gaze is already fixed on the dancing colors. You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets. Try to find something pretty and cool here. Then use it to win her back. Everything you pick out seems faded, chipped, and sad somehow. Most of them are just...
Hello, person.
G'day to you, officers.
A burly man hangs out by the waterlock, carving up a generous serving of salami with an old...
My friend Barry the Butcher is stuck on the other side of the waterlock. I'm keeping him company and eating this salami.
Salami.
From the corner of your eye, you see a man in a yellow shirt and grey overalls waving at you from across the canal. He seems disappointed about the wreckage on the waterlock and the salami.
Very good stuff.
The salami.
Anything I can do for you, officer? I wasn't here to witness it, but those look like tire tracks on that sign. Weird.
The words, Daredevil Driver, sound ominous to you.
Too bad it also takes a year and a day to repair anything around here, especially a waterlock. The rest of the coast is closed off. Well, there's the fishing village, an abandoned fish market, a bizarro church. Not much use to the congregation, though. There always seems to be something wrong with it. Yeah, not really much else. Just bombed out ruins. Sure thing. Want some too, officer?
Why not?
Yay, we're salami pals.
A couple of indicator lights are missing from this control panel. Loose wires dangle from... This panel usually closes the waterlock, turning it into a bridge that lets you cross the canal. But there's a crash button. You pull the lever all the way up until the metal clicks against... Nothing happens. Nothing happens. A cold gust of wind blowing in from the sea. Nothing happens. A spring brings the lever back to its original position. You still need to... Isn't there a sign over there saying functionality will be restored?
That's when we can get access. Oh yeah, thought cabinet. Volumetric fit compressor.
Yeah, we did that one.
Did that one, yes. Okay. I should probably add some things.
You don't have to, and you might get some better ones later.
Mm.
Because if you want to uninternalize one to get something else, you have to spend level ups.
Ah.
What's on your mind? Huh? Oh. No, I ain't got any money. The bosses, man. Yeah, it sure ain't good for me. Or you. I'd spare a coin or two for a city cop down in his luck. If I had saved 4 myself.
Hey. Psst, psst. Yes, you. Word on the street is you're ready to start building communism again. You keep saying things like, down with the bourgeoisie, eat the rich, sodomize the landowners, impale all people who have more than 25 real in their pocket. Literally murder all human beings, funky style. Very funky.
Funky style.
So tell me, do you have any questions before we fire up the big communism builder? Or do we get right? Failure. It's about failure. Yes, abject failure. Total, irreversible defeat on all fronts. You alone, against every living thing, against every human alive. You against the atom, the charm and the spin, where the whole world failed. Matter failed to bend to human will. Human, now get to work, comrade. Oh yeah, get the firing squads and the animal wagons ready. Too late to back out now. You can't make an omelette without breaking a few million eggs.
I'm already an instrument of state violence.
Yeah. I suggest going round to the left of the bookshop. So I might as well try to be helpful with the 20-ish hours I've put into this bulletin before we started streaming it.
This is a wall on the side of an apartment building. You have no clue. It's just a wall. So many walls.
Are you trying to sneak up on me? Come to slit my throat in my sleep?
Logic error. She is not sleeping right now.
Pig's come to take me out. Trying to snuff me out. Don't get fucking clever with me, pig. Trying to sneak up.
Hey, up here, Piggo.
A striking woman leans against the cabin top of her sailing boat, smiling.
Good afternoon, officers. I'm Joyce. Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbour. You gentlemen must be from the RCM. Dayton, my maiden name.
Thanks for Joyce.
Nothing, honestly. I've said it to every drunk in town, and you're the first one who's responded.
What is implied here? She hasn't actually said it to every drunk in town. It was spoken in jest.
I'm glad to see you here. I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the arse...
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual medical episode.
There's a trace of irony in his voice. Mischief even.
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation. And the... Why, yes I am. The boat...
Gonna be some crinkling for a second, because
I'm is called Cordelati 19, because that's the type of sloop it is.
We also have some celebrations, don't we?
Yeah, but I'm savory snacking.
Oh.
The word "it" feels strange. Such a beautiful boat deserves a proper name.
My sloop? I like it a lot.
I'm enjoying this part of the interview. It has so little to do with the murder week.
I really do, the lieutenant thinks. Is she thrown off yet? He's looking at the woman, assessing her.
Of course there are. We're on an archipelago. How else are you supposed to get around? Yes, we are. We are on Le Caillou.
Caillou?
We are. And the city of Revachol
The
is
little
on the
bald
island
guy
of
that
Le
Number
Caillou.
hates.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anyone else drive a souped-up Capri Kenema motor carriage either.
Actually, that motor carriage has been specially issued to serve as a patrol and pursuit. It's for crossing long distances in the greater Revachol industrial...
Neither is this. A toy, I mean. It's a machine for crossing long distances in the Bay of Revachol.
You need to make this lady admit she's only riding around on this boat because she's rich. You have the guns and the ammo. Take this Clausen fiend down.
Oh my. The E word. You mean to say that it's a symbol of conspicuous consumption? That I'm a member of the ruling class?
Detective, may I remind you that Mrs. Messier is a professional negotiator.
Then what does that say? Does it say docking reserve 33A? This old proletarian haunt here? As I said, plenty of people drive boats of all social strata.
She takes a sip.
Okay.
Nothing happens for quite a while.
As they do.
The thoughts happen inside his brain.
It doesn't.
No worries. We can just go back to discussing my fast, large, interminably middle-class boat. Officer, I assure you I'm...
The crowns of her teeth are porcelain. Her nonchalance might be related to something called the Wayfarer Act. A law that says she doesn't need a license.
Good. What we do? I'm afraid I don't speak for Wild Pines as a...
There was a touch of discomfort there. She wants to merely represent.
The Pines' core competency is logistics. Container shipping, freight, that sort of thing. See those airships there, blinking? Those are the shipping side of things, and that is the terminal. Another subdivision deals with energy, oil and gas exploration, offshore platforms.
The Wild Pines Group is one of the original Revacholian Indo-tribes. Companies awarded royal monopolies by the king, the suzerain himself, centuries ago. The king is long gone, but several of the Indo-tribes remain.
I'm not at liberty to discuss the company balance sheet, but I can tell you that...
$1 billion?
Yes, past a certain point, numbers begin to seem imaginary. But a conglomerate the size of Wild Pines is like a shark. If it stops moving and growing, it will die. They started as an exploration and cargo fleet conducting trade between the Samaran, and centuries of care, deliberation, and madness have gone into this endeavor. Vessels pass through the great unrest to re-emerge with a... You mean aside from being the terminal's legal owners? who are responsible for moving 8% of the world's cargo.
She nods.
Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secret. First, you'd have to repeal the Emergencies Act of Trade in Aliments that gives me the right to silence. It's quite the octopus. Good luck is only kept in place by the vested interests of half the civil...
What the ma'am means is that the Emergencies Act and the RCM both get their authority from the...
You'd be shooting yourself in the
But I am derailing us. You wanted to know about... I believe the official title is Senior Labor Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay the union's demands to Wild Pines and return with Wild Pines counter...
And how are the talks going?
They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago. Now they won't even let me into the harbor. There's a 2-meter-20 racist behemoth blocking the gates. Yes, Jean-Luc Measurehead. Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I...
And when did you first arrive?
I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was...
But the strike began in December.
I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations.
This isn't the first time the union has gone on strike?
Heavens no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan. This time their demands are more, I guess you could say, aggressive.
Overtime pay just seems so basic as a thing people should have.
Yeah.
Wow, it is raining.
Mr. Clare told him to... How did he put it?
What?
Fuck off, midget. Gaumont is short of stature, you see. Yes. Keep in mind, this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, and who was more than fair with him and the union.
Sounds like usual aggressive posturing.
There are leaflets everywhere, and banners. What did they say again? Oh yes. Every worker, a member of the board.
Most of the workers probably don't know what that means.
Then you might also like their other slogan. Demand democracy. Personally, I don't think it has the same pizzazzo as every worker a member of the board. It's quite simple, you see. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision, about what? About anything really, it needs the signature of each of the 2,000. Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group. I'm not sure. Naturally, I assume that was just their opening position, a hard-nosed tactic with a side of mockery. And now, people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling in rags, a disastrous...
Excuse me, from whom did you hear about this lynching?
I first heard it from the Bois at the gates. The one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was, "Call me mañana."
This checks out.
The scabs? You mean the
I do
huddled
enjoy
masses of
Colin
Jamrock
Mañana as a
come to plead
character.
for work where the union refuses to? If they were organized by Wild Pines or its affiliates, then it would be a company secret. I could not share it with you.
Okay, so yes.
It's implied. She's
It's in the
open to
same vein as
discussing this
like
matter
you
with
only say who's
at a
asking
later
if the answer is
occasion.
yes.
Everard Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. If you can say one thing about him, it's that he always puts the... Of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood. He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal, more irredeemably nepotistic, then it's his twin brother, Edgar. Yes, Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Evrard does, and when one's term as foreman is up, the other takes over. It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much
it's a
of
dick
their
move,
workers'
but it's
dues.
smart. You gotta give them that.
The Débardeurs Union was once a perfectly normal institution. 20 years ago, anyway. It must not have been easy to establish under the Emergency Act, but they did it. I can respect that. Organized labor at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The brothers Clare came and transformed it into a
mob. The Débardeurs are a crime syndicate. Sad as it may be, I suspect we'll be forced to cooperate with them.
refreshingly honest, officer. The company has tried appeasing in the past, but... And your opinion, detective, if I may ask? I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. Would you say the Débardeurs Union is... Why do you think so?
There's no good answer here.
Wink.
Ha! A real man of the left. What else can I tell you about? I'm glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous forewoman of the
enough
union.
to level up.
Disappeared?
Which means we can go try the jump again.
On the last day of the local chapter
Oh, that's a
elections,
physical one.
her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running
Was it?
anymore. Or coming
Do
to
a physical
work.
thing.
Ever. End of story. Downright haunting, if you ask me. The point of the presentation is, these kinds of things happen around the Clares. Watch out when you're dealing with it.
Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine.
Of course. How else can I help? Quite a few things, I'm afraid. The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have...
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. And this is my colleague from Precinct 41. I'm afraid...
How curious. Why is that, detective?
Awkwardness washes over the conversation. The woman doesn't like this turn of events.
I see. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode?
Probably best not to give me too much information on that.
I can't hear you, darling. Speak up, please. Oh dear. I suppose this does explain some of the more curious turns in our conversation.
She must have been suspecting something for a while now.
As I said, ma'am, his technique may be very unconventional, but he is an officer of the RCM.
Of course, I sympathize. But I'm afraid I simply can't share anything more until I've seen that badge.
Hang on. She's a professional negotiator. She should be open
It
to
is
some
your
sort
boat
of mutually
failure.
beneficial arrangement. Feelings will guide the way.
I assure you, it is no small matter for me either. We all share the responsibility for disarming this situation. I hope you have a badge for me as soon as possible. Trust me, officer, I am fully committed to resolving this impasse.
She's silent. The wind flaps the sail above her.
Officer. You know, I don't mean to sound cold, but if you want something, you have to give something back.
You're doing it. Despite your own best efforts, you're still getting it.
I'll be frank with you. If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able... The Union is conducting drug trade out of the harbor. It's an open secret in Martinez. Surely it must not come as a complete surprise to the RCM either. Or you can find your badge, which honestly seems like a lost cause.
Detective, a word in private before we continue. This is not going quite as I hoped it would, Detective. Honestly, I was expecting you to use your unorthodox technique to keep her off balance, and not volunteer us to be her henchman. This woman is running circles around us. She might have known about your misplaced badge all along, or she
He doesn't let it show, but there is a limit to how much the consequences of your unprofessional behavior can cost the investigation.
Oh, that would be fantastic, but do we have the time? The world is large and your badge is 8 by 6 centimeters.
The situation might have changed drastically by the time you locate it. Time is of the essence.
You could request a new one from your station, but that would literally take months. No. If there is reasonable suspicion, we must investigate. Otherwise, she could claim we are siding with the Union. What I propose is, we ask her, then we investigate, briefly. But do not share the outcome of this investigation with her.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? It's quite straightforward. Someone is using Terminal B to smuggle raw ingredients from the Samar and Isola into Revachol with the Union's blessing. Wild Pines has suspected it for years.
Ingredients for what, ma'am?
Meth and dextroamphetamine, GBL, and various synthetic psychedelics. Honestly, it might be quicker to say what you can't make from the stuff. Yes. After they clear the terminal, we lose track.
Wild Pine seems to be well apprised of the local drug trade, ma'am. Do you mean to say the Union also produces the product? Sells drugs, I mean?
We're in logistics. It's our business to know. And no. As far as the company knows, the Union does not produce it. They transport the ingredients, yes, but you won't get anything out of Evrat and the Dock Workers Union. Still, every chain has its weak link.
The handoff. The motor lorries at the roundabout.
Unlikely, officer. I'm talking about the lorries. Once the ingredients reach Jamrock, perhaps you've noticed that a number of lorries are tangled in a traffic jam at the roundabout just now. I'll be explicit. If you find this driver, I will share company secrets with you. We did. On more than one occasion.
We know the company has launched its own probe into the Union's alleged involvement. We also know it...
Well, here's your chance, officers.
I won't say shit.
She simply nods.
Yeah, let's go reattempt that jump. Savoir-faire that we want.
Yeah.
Let's go!
Somewhere.
Time is rapidly passing.
Ooh. So what we're doing is we are...
Not that way. I said not that way.
We're heading to the dock, or the harbour.
Well, if we're doing it reattempting the jump, which I assume we are with savoir-faire, then we need to go back through the little shed.
Yeah.
We do want to sleep at some point, but we don't have the money right now.
We do not. Maybe the cops will have money. We can but hope.
We're gonna want to save, because if we take damage again, we may well die, since we have no means of healing.
I did some healing earlier.
Yeah, and now we have no means of healing because you used the item.
picked up a couple of healing items, I think.
You're healing morale, not health. You don't have anything for healing health, you just have stuff for healing morale.
Yeah, I'm just looking at my stuff. Okay, am I removing stuff to maximize?
Yeah, we got to take off the shoes and trousers again. Got to maximize it.
Okay.
Strip to maximize.
Oh yeah.
A tarpaulin cloak is still caught on the railing. No one has claimed it for their own.
Fuck.
Very good.
Nope, no. You could have died there. Shit.
Hey! I understand. We can always come back when you are feeling better. It's
the wind.
At least it damaged morale rather than health.
The lieutenant.
But I think we want to reload.
Mm-hmm.
We will get to the harbour eventually because that is what we need to do to progress at this point.
A tarpaulin cloak is still caught on the railing. No one has claimed it for their own.
Why?
Nope.
It's a 42% chance. If we fail a third time, I'm calling it mean.
A tarpaulin cloak is still caught on the railing. No one has claimed it for their
Green!
own.
We did it!
As you leap in the air, a chilly breeze engulfs you, sharpening your senses. As the concrete floor welcomes you, you realize it's been a while since you felt so alive, alert, capable. Must be the adrenaline.
I knew you could do it. My climbing down might not have been as disco as your jump, but at least we can explore the harbor now.
Pretty disco.
Yep.
With your feet firmly planted on the concrete, the noise of the harbor rushes back in.
We're gonna want to look through this door because there's a thing that could harm us in the harbour.
Needs to do a proper risk assessment.
It is not a thing that would show up in a risk assessment.
Okay,
Yeah, we definitely want to put that on.
Nice.
I think interfacing is going to be more useful than electrochemistry.
Cool.
Do we want to put on? Yeah, this is a better jacket, I think, the one we've got on.
On second glance, someone has forgotten to properly close one of the drawers.
It's unfortunate for the Union to just leave their paperwork laying around like this.
Let's see what's inside, he thinks. The drawer opens smoothly. Inside is a well-organized selection of brown folders. Hundreds of documents containing logistical data. Two kinds of transactions stand out. Materials coming into Revachol from the outside world. From Muindi, Grad, and even Ilmara. and the same materials being handed over to companies inside Revachol. Couron, Coal City, La Delta, and Jamrock are listed among the many districts where the imports are being sold. It's hard to make sense of this thicket of company names, dates, quantities, and percentages. You try to focus, but the lines are getting blurry. Look how blurry all the lines on these papers are. How unwieldy your own willpower is to yourself. Hermeneutics was almost within your grasp, but now only vague letters float before your eyes. Less meaningful, but aesthetically. You are a police officer, not a spiritual healer.
Is that what you're doing with those photos over there? Right. This is probably not relevant to our case. After all, we're not investigating an accounting mystery.
You're trying hard, but the data here is unbelievably dry. Some of the drawers slides shut.
Let's check the bathroom for drugs. Or not, I guess.
An imposing combination
being
of a
systematic.
punch clock and a payphone is
Of
looking
course.
down at you.
Not
from the
gonna.
wall. A note on the
Not gonna
side
put money in
says,
the thing. I
"Tokens
don't have money to put
unavailable
in
due
things.
Those stairs are gonna take us back out. Visual calculus is useful. Wrong kind of drugs.
I am pretty cool now.
I mean, we do need to go do that.
It's one of my favourite hobbies.
Collecting rainwater.
Yeah. I just go outside and go,
Okay.
ow.
Serves you right.
For what?
You know what?
What grievous sins have I committed in my time upon this earth?
You know the answer to that. That's the thing.
All those empty wine bottles and cigarette butts on the ground. Someone partied really, really hard.
Well, yes, I think we can say with relative confidence that it was you. Yes, this scene isn't exactly ripping with joy.
This is the night watchman's booth. The name on the door reads, René Arnaud. Listen, it's okay to take a few minutes to yourself. Sit down and have a breather. You need to rest. Your body is aching. Getting in here has taken something out of you. Have a seat. The chair is not as austere as the rest of the booth. A thin grey pillow is attached to the seat, secured to the stiles by black ribbons.
I'm not gonna search for something.
Stale air floods through your nostrils. Not a single mote of dust floats inside your lungs, though. The inside of the booth is immaculate. You stand and exit the booth.
If you must.
It
But
didn't
please
heal
hurry.
you, though.
We are pretty easy to spot up here.
Nothing
must have needed the something
incriminating catches
to
your
heal.
eye. The cabinets are clean and their sparse contents meticulous. It's a black and white photo of a young couple out in a street fair. The man is young, dark-skinned, and dressed in a Royal Carabinieri uniform.
Why did you take that? Fine, but let's move. I don't want to be seen snooping around here.
Control panel with several knobs. 2 buttons marked Marsh and Arrête are faded with use. Marsh on, Arrête off. With a loud grind, the crane shifts overhead, moving a massive metal container through the air.
Neat. It depends watching the animation.
Gosh and golly.
And with a surprisingly quiet thunk, the harbor sleeps as the strike rages in the distance. The crane can rest again, now that its purpose has been fulfilled. Moving this container, of course. For this,
I can't see how that was worth the ruckus, except for seeing the crane in action, which I admit was satisfying.
The crane does not return to its original.
I wanted to help him indulge a special interest.
Big machine.
Yeah. Sometimes you need a big machine.
You're so right.
Money. We pay for goods and services.
And we're up to 3 out of 20, the 20 that we need. I think it's 20? I don't remember now.
Before you stands a cargo container. Just one of them.
Is this like your thing with that wall again? You do? Because I don't. There are 1 million containers here. Why are you fixating on this one? You just picked one out because you wanted to interact with a cargo container. We're not here to interact with containers. We are here to get the body down from the tree.
No reply. You attempt to turn the handle. To know it. To your left, the lieutenant considers your actions with some puzzlement. Why are you even trying to open a door with rhetoric?
Because what wasn't an option? Now is not the time to get philosophical, detective.
You have not built a character who can use his body over his wits.
I have not built a character who can.
Just in general.
Yeah. He can't even. Oh.
Just getting poetical.
Great machines are sleeping.
Let's go.
Container, container, I'll turn you nice and red. Container, container, put the logos on.
Let this go.
That's my favorite song.
The lyrics to this container song are being made up as he goes along.
What?
The accent is so thick, it's impossible not to notice he's Ubi, from the vanishing peninsula of Ubisunt on Muindi.
Container, container, used to be Wild Pines. Container, container, now belongs to Everard.
Ubisant is certainly a name for a place.
What does it mean?
I believe that's where are they?
That's great. And Monday is world, right?
Everard, Everard,
Yeah.
Everard, he looks after everyone. Huh? Well,
The look in his deep blue
Monday
eyes
specifically
is
is
as sincere
genitive
as you've
case.
ever seen.
It's interesting.
Kind of makes you feel like an arsehole for
I don't know
no
what that
apparent
means.
reason.
I did not study Latin.
Where's the so it's Ubisant in
Monday.
Monday. Yeah, genitive is of the. Of or of the.
Okay. I see you are not
Oh,
a
as in
union man,
macaroni.
mister.
Yeah.
Did you get lost?
Exactly.
You're not one of them scabs, are you? I mean, I don't personally mind. Folks is just folks, you know, and folks gotta eat. Just some of the other guys don't look too kindly on the scabbing kind, if you know what I mean, mister. Oh, that one. That should be empty as far as I know. Lots of containers here have nothing in them. They're just waiting to be loaded up.
Told you.
Oh, you want Mr. Everard then? He's an awfully nice fellow, he is. Him and his brother are both nice fellows. They've lived their entire lives in this here neighborhood. Mr. Everard is usually in his office, of course. But you gotta be quick if you want to see him. He leaves around 10 p.m.
He leaves around what time? 22. So we've got a little bit then, but also we are right next to where his office is. Let's go talk to him.
Bye-bye now.
And try not to die.
Looks like a place.
Yeah. There he is.
Before you is a walrus of a man seated behind a large desk. He looks up from his work, not the least bit surprised to see you. With great effort, he straightens himself up in his chair, yet says nothing. He simply stares at you.
Welcome, Mr. Dubois, Mr. Kitsuragi. It's good of you two to stop by. Please, have a seat. I'm Everard Clare, head of the Debarders Union here in Martinez. I'd offer you my hand, but unfortunately my health prevents me from getting up. You understand?
He looks extremely comfortable. The tiny folding chair, on the other hand, looks like a torture device.
You go ahead, detective.
Whatever he has in store for you, it can't be good, he thinks. I'll do my best. Forget about that. What's with this Dubois stuff? You're getting some seriously bad vibes from that name.
How weird do I want to be?
Thing is, I know something that you don't about this scene, so I don't want to say anything.
Please, Mr. Dubois, let us converse in a civilized manner, as...
It's nothing. Yes, that's probably... He's trying to throw you off your game with this Dubois nonsense. Don't give him the...
Very well, Mr. Dubois. I respect a man with strong convictions. I, too, have convictions. One of which is that I will not engage with any man who won't face me at eye level. Should you find yourself more amenable in the future, I'd
You're no Titan affiliation, buddy. He's got you in a fork. Sit down or leave.
Excellent, Mr. Dubois. I can see that you're a reasonable man, and reasonable men can be of great use to one another. So tell me, how can the head of the Debarders Union help a representative of the Revachol Citizens Militia?
something in your chest, an unnatural pressure. It's spreading to your left arm, your jaw. Well, this feels familiar. Very, very bad. This is the end. Bad. All you feel is pain and weakness. You have to surrender now. We all do. It gets so dark. You don't even see her face, like you always thought you would. You only see pain and fear. Cop suffered a final heart attack.
Yep, the chair is so uncomfortable it can kill you.
Passed away yesterday.
Amazing.
Though abrupt.
Shall we end the stream there? And start next time back at this point, but hopefully with more health?
Maybe. It's certainly an option if you want to go down that route.
Well, if we go back to the point where we rams the door and don't do that, then we should have enough health to survive the chair.
Yeah.
But maybe do that off stream so it's not too dull for people to watch.
It's certainly an option. Yeah. I forget ramming doors can hurt. Normally I just work through the pain.
So, tomorrow, we're hoping to finish, or at least get further into Return to Monkey Island.
Yeah, we're in Act 4, and yeah, that should be fun.
And then Tuesday is Police Quest.
Yeah, Tuesday is Police Quest. So both of those should be a good time.
But until then, end of stream.